The master, Omram Mikhail Ivanov, as we know, was a great advocate and proponent of meditating at the dawn during the sunrise. And he shares today that this is a sacred time for communion with our source. We drink in the prana, the light, the consciousness, the radiance, the blessedness, and the virtues of the sun. We receive them, we absorb them, we assimilate them during our intimate time of communion in the stillness of the eternal and the silence of the one. Communing with the sun affords us opportunity to know the heart of God, to intuit what is real, what is divine, what is holy, what is pure. When we set aside this sacred time in the mornings to be in the absorptive mode of attending to this great event, which is the sunrise, every morning. Even if we can't see the sun outwardly, if it's cloudy, we know it's there. We become more attentive to our true nature, our own God presence or solar presence, because our solar presence is one with everyone else's divine self. And in reality, we are one with the sun. We are one with all life. All life is one with us. And when we enter that state of quietude and the simplicity and the beauty and the harmony and the peace of the magnanimity of the sun's dawning each morning, as a mystical event, it brings us to the fountain of eternal light that really is within us. It allows us to know, through the intimacy of our communion with our real self, God and God's greatness, God's allness, God's pure beingness. These morning sessions are wonderful opportunities to reconnect with our source, vivify our four lower bodies, and harmonize them with our higher spiritual bodies, our Atmic, Buddhic, and causal bodies, and even the solar body that is our I Am Presence. And through this reconnection and revivification, we really are born anew. Every day is a resurrection. Every day is an ascension. We ascend because we rise out of our beds. And who's to say when one day that rising will be the final rising of our full resurrection in the light and our ultimate ascension and victory in the light. We prepare every day for the ultimate initiation of our union with God, and yet every day is an opportunity to remain tethered to that reality and to be in the state of perfect oneness and beingness. As initiates of the sacred fire, we know the eternal cosmic laws that govern the universe because we've studied them now for years and decades and lifetimes. We've come to that point on our path where, in the absorptive mode, we are gaining skeins of light unto our heart, our chakras, our aura, our causal body. And as we absorb and completely drink in these high vibrations and radiations, we are becoming more sun-like and more sunlight. Our goal is to be like a sun. And in the Aquarian age, as the master Omram Mikhail Ivanov has said, All yogas will be replaced with Surya Yoga, which is sun yoga, the highest yoga. It actually contains all the other yogas. I love Kriya Yoga. I love many yogas. And I think many of us have been yogis and yoginis in past lives, and we've gone through the rituals of the asanas and the meditation practice, Jnana Yoga, and we've been royal yogis in the past. We've meditated in the Himalayas and caves. We've done those things that have brought God front and center into our lives. Now we have an opportunity as Aquarian initiates to so generate and regenerate light within our auric field that we are a blessing to life. We are part of the solution to the dilemma of what is occurring right now, the shift from Pisces to Aquarius, with all of the chicanery that's going on, all of the inanity that's occurring, because at the nexus of a new age, of course, there is an opportunity for resolving age-old issues, ancient karmas, and everything is coming into a state of flux where the resolution must occur. We must resolve to be one. We must resolve to be in that perfect state of beingness, the non-dual state, where there's no reactivity, no matter what's going on in the outside world. Where are we in consciousness? Are we tethered to our true self to the point where nothing phases us? We don't criticize, condemn, or in any way demean another soul or spirit, no matter what that one is doing outwardly, whether conscious or maybe not so conscious. So we remain in the center of being, in the singularity of God's eternal presence, tethered to that divine reality. We feed off of that divine light every day. That is our true spiritual nourishment. And the sun is there as a perfect example of one who glorifies God. For billions of years radiates light and the regenerating powers of that warmth and light and heat to all the planets of our system and even beyond. Think of yourself as a sun where you can radiate that much divine glory and power and magnanimity for 1 billion, for 4 billion and more years. What an amazing alchemical divine individual the sun is. A super conscious being who has attained to this divine reality, created in God's image and likeness, as we all are, yet in a phenomenal way, affording billions of life streams the opportunity to have life on the various planets of our system. If we can reconceive of ourselves as created in the same image, though maybe at a slightly lower level right now, and tie into that magnanimity, that light, that breadth, width, and height of cosmic awareness, then we too can perform miracles. We can do the greater works that Jesus said we do, because he went to the source, to the Father, for his cosmic nourishment. And in that oneness state, he was able to perform amazing alchemical works and healings. So are we doing those greater works now? If not, we have to shift awareness, get rid of our scotomas, our blind spots, realizing that we were created perfect in the image and likeness of God, not as human beings, but as divine individuals, as divine spirits. And so as we nourish ourselves in that spiritual glory and light, then, by God's grace, we are able to fulfill our destiny. We rise in light to be attentive to and one with the eternal Spirit always. I love this song, 20.001, I Am the Sun, because it reminds us of both some of the ancient cultures we've been a part of in Peru and pre-Incan times. It reminds us of when we glorified God in Egypt with Akhenaten. It reminds us of when we've been with Cthulhu as his embodiment in Greece, Pythagoras, where he taught in a mystery school at Crotona. It reminds us of being with St. Francis of Assisi, another embodiment of Cthulhu, where we were so in one with nature that we could understand the language of birds and animals. We could commune with the plants, know their secrets, discern what they are communicating with the world. It was amazing to see yesterday many geese coming onto our property and flying overhead, coming south from Canada. The geese just know when it's time to go, based on their inner awareness of temperatures and climate changes and the winds and the snows. And are we as sensitive as nature and animal life to the changes occurring? Are we as sensitive to the winds of the Holy Spirit as they blow across the earth and impel us to make changes in our life and transform ourselves through the transmutative processes of how life is moving on in this cycle, how the phases of the moon and the sun and even the stars impact us, and what we will do to accommodate the great cosmic light that is descending from the great central sun, step down through galaxies and solar systems to our sun and then to us. If we discern the higher realities, if we can tap into the cosmic principles and values that the Elohim and the great cosmic and God beings in the heavens are constantly illumining us with, then we will pass our initiations. We will be victorious in all of our endeavors and all of our affairs, and life will be, in this divine orchestration, amazing and fulfilling in all of its ways. If we kick against the pricks and we're not attentive to the initiatic process, then we may take a little longer to circumambulate the sun and come back to the very source of beingness within the sun. So our goal is to enter the sun presence of God, to return to the origin of life within us. And when we feel that universality, we feel and know the cosmic reality of that beingness within the Eternal One, then everything becomes sublime. We don't fret about anything. We don't have human anxieties that press us to do this or go there away from our divine plan and mission. We listen very carefully to the inner voice, and being obedient to that voice and fulfilling our dharma, then, by God's grace, we come to that point of the cosmic initiation where we, through divine love, are fused with our source. So in a few weeks, I believe it's November 14th on a Sunday, we'll be having a Meru University class from 11 to 12:30 on the Ascension with Serapis Bey. I'm preparing the slides now, and part of this will be kind of a summation of teachings that we know, yet the Master will delve into this subject with maybe a little bit newer eyes to give us both an impetus to understand this process of the Ascension and also keys and resources to accelerate the process in a gentle yet powerful way so that we can make greater progress and put aside those things which burden us, which limit us, which still cause us at times friction with other life streams or situations. So coming to that fount of divine wisdom with the Hierophant of Luxor, which some of you know used to be called Thebes back in the day. That's another name for Luxor, Thebes, which many of you have heard of in studying other esoteric literature. We will receive from this great master, this great Chohan of the fourth ray of the ascension light, those very powerful rays that he emanates with the seraphim, because he is in commune with the seraphic hosts and utilizes their frequencies to raise our consciousness to a new level. So I'm looking forward to that class. We will be putting up the course page fairly soon, and I just sent to our staff yesterday the first couple paragraphs of what will occur during this class. So thank you for listening to the words and the inspirational message of the Master, Om Ram Mikhail Ivanhoff, overshining me today.